In API 653 Annex B, there is a provision to use either BE or BEW tolerances for edge settlement analysis, depending on the alpha angle of weld lines at each station. If weld lines are parallel to the shell, you must use the tighter tolerance of BEW. However, if weld lines are perpendicular to the shell, you can use the looser tolerance of BE. In between, you can calculate the BE alpha tolerance using the alpha angle of the weld. In uniTank, the default tolerance for edge settlement analysis is BEW, because this is the worst case scenario. If the edge settlement analysis fails using BEW, you may choose to define the weld lines in order to loosen the edge settlement tolerances. To do this, we need to define our floor layouts. First, I am going to load in the floor settlement model, which allows us to visualize all the weld lines on the floor. Note that in order to have the floor settlement model, you must have had run the floor plate analysis before. If the tank has an annular ring, you can define this first. This tank doesn't actually have an annular ring, so I'm going to undo this. Second, you need to define the floor baseline. This is the main direction that the floor courses follow. Once you have defined this, you can define the rest of the floor courses, either manually or automatically. Using the manual method, you can define specific course locations using the point tool. Or you can specify a specific course spacing. Finally, you need to define the floor plates. Again, you can define this either manually or automatically. When using the automatic method, you will likely need to touch up the plates by deleting some invalid ones and adding some missing ones manually. Similar to defining floor courses, you can manually define floor plates using the point tool. Alternatively, you can measure the plate spacing and get uniTank to place plates at a constant interval within the course. Once the layout has been completed, you can run edge settlement analysis again. This time, uniTank will intersect each station line with the defined weld lines and calculate the alpha angles for you. You will see an additional graph in the Outputs folder that shows the station lines, points of intersection with the weld lines, and corresponding alpha angles. uniTank automatically uses these alpha angles to calculate the BE alpha tolerances when running edge settlement.